Silence. Hey, this is Harwin from SEO Wolf. So if you noticed, in the starting of the podcast, it was a little uncomfortable, right? The silence, even for 2 or 3 seconds. But you felt like, what's going on? Was it my what? It's not working or what? What happened to this? So silence. Some people avoid it, but whenever you're having a conversation with someone, you have to learn to use silence to your advantage. Whenever you're doing any kind of sales, whenever you're doing some kind of an argument or customer service or whatever you're doing, if you learn to use silence, it can be a very powerful tool, and the impact that it can have is giant. Not giant is not the correct word, but the impact that will have will be a good one. I've tried it a lot in my life, and I swear by it. So, one thing, if you use silence, I'll tell you what all it communicates. First, is that you're comfortable with the silence. You don't get uncomfortable that if my podcast that I'm recording right now, if a few parts go on silent, it's a silent wave out there. I'm not bothered by it. Same things happen in a conversation. When you're talking to someone, there's always an urge to keep talking, and fill the silence. You'll be saying bullshit things, whatever that comes to your mind. Try to keep that silence from not taking place. So silence, if you use it properly, it communicates that you're comfortable with the person being. And I'll also tell you a secret. Most people are not comfortable with silence. So a lot of time, what happens is when you start using silence as a tool in the conversation, the other person gets very uncomfortable. They don't know what to do. So if you're comfortable with it, it can build a tension. So I'll tell you the applications of it. So most of the times in sales situations, many sales trainer have this saying that once you give your conversation, once you give your sales pitch, you have to shut up and you have to let them respond. After you've made your pitch, you have to shut up. Either they'll say yes or no, whatever. After you made that offer, you have to shut up and let the person speak. So those speakers in their 80s or 90s or whatever, they didn't any psychology tricks or whatever. They didn't do that. They were people who learn on the road. They find out what is working. So that is how it came to be. So how it works is when when you use silence, when the salespeople use the silence in a close, the other person got very uncomfortable. They wanted to do anything to break that silence. So either they were yes or maybe they said no. So hopefully you'll not misuse this tactic, but I'm telling you is just to make the point here. Is at that point that was used as a pressure tactic to make the other person say yes or no, because the worst thing that salesman can get is a maybe. So the maybe, when a person gets a maybe, they don't know if he got the sale or not. So that is something they don't want. So that is why they use it. And customer service also, if someone is very angry, is shouting at you, shouting at you, and like can you say, you're going in arguments back and forth. The normal person, when you use silence, it comes off as a pattern interrupt. So what is pattern interrupt? I'll simply explain, it is something that breaks the pattern what they're expecting. So in fighting, if you just fight, not fighting is not the correct word, but in an argument, you start, the other person suddenly becomes silent. It throws them off the track. They don't know what to do next. As in, if you're in a customer service, if you uh, someone if you're talking to someone in the customer service, shouting at them, this is not there, not there, and you get in an argument. That other person on the other line is also an argumentative one. They are also not a very, you could say, cordial or empathetic person. So this person also happens to be a person who's like, no, 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 it's your mistake, blah blah blah. He's shouting at you or two. So if you use silence in those situations, it, right? Yeah. If you use silence in those situations, the angry person who is in the state of like, yes, I have to be angry, I have this, that. Once you break that pattern of angry and you throw it off into a confusion, like what is happening? Why is the person so? Why did he stop talking? Why did he stop doing that? What did that silence mean? What did the line break? What happened? So this kind of things breaks their pattern, and after that, that can be used to steer it in the new direction. That is, maybe you can lead it to a conversation that, yes, listen, yes, we can fight about it, or we can find a solution for it, and that can be used to break the conversation, stop it, and steer it in a new direction. So silence is very underrated. I don't know a lot of people that talk about it, but you have to try it first. You have to get uncomfortable with it to learn the true power of it. 2 3 times you will have silence more than what should be there. So that'll how you learn to calibrate how much silence you need to use in a conversation. So try this out. This is a very effective tactic. And it's easy to use. Okay, that's all for now. SEO Wolf signing out.